What if I told you that inside your body lies a secret code? A code that determines your height, your eye color, your health, your strength, even the risks you carry for disease. For all of human history, we believed that this code was untouchable. That fate was etched into our DNA long before we were born. But suddenly, that may no longer be true. In 2012, scientists discovered something buried deep inside bacteria. A natural defense system, sharp, precise, and unbelievably powerful. They called it CRISPR. At first glance, it looked simple, a molecular pair of scissors that could find and cut specific pieces of DNA. But what it truly represented was control. The ability to edit life itself. Imagine a world without genetic disease. No more children born with fatal disorders. No more families losing loved ones to inherited illnesses passed down like curses. For millions, CRISPR is not just science, it's hope. Hope that suffering doesn't have to be handed down. Hope that biology is no longer destiny. But when humans are given power, they rarely stop at fixing. They start improving. If you could remove disease from your future child, why stop there? What if you could increase their intelligence? Boost their strength? Choose their eye color, their height, their lifespan? What if instead of waiting to see who your child becomes, you could design who they are? It's no longer hypothetical. In labs across the world, animals have already been altered. Mice with enhanced memory, dogs with doubled muscle mass, monkeys resistant to disease. Evolution compressed into a single generation. And then, in 2018, it happened. Not to a mouse. Not to a monkey. But to humans. A scientist in China claimed he had edited 2 unborn girls, altering their DNA before birth in an attempt to make them resistant to HIV. The world reacted with shock. Some praised him for pushing boundaries. Others called it reckless, irresponsible, even monstrous. He was condemned, imprisoned, but the truth was undeniable. The first gene-edited humans were already here. So now we stand in a place humanity has never stood before. A place between healing and enhancement, between compassion and control, between evolution and design. Should humans be allowed to edit themselves? On one hand, we could end the suffering of millions. Imagine a future where parents never have to fear the diseases that took their ancestors. A future where people are born free of pain, free of limitations written in their DNA. But then comes the other side. What happens when genetic perfection has a price tag? When only the wealthy can afford to enhance their children? When society divides into 2 classes, not rich and poor, but edited and unedited? What happens when being natural becomes a disadvantage? And deeper still, what happens to identity when our flaws can be deleted? If we remove everything imperfect, do we also remove what makes us human? CRISPR gives us power, but it also gives us responsibility. Every genetic change made today could echo for generations. A mistake won't just affect one person. It could rewrite the future of an entire bloodline. Maybe this is the next step in human evolution. Maybe we are meant to take control of our own biology. Or maybe we were never meant to. So I leave you with a question that scientists, ethicists, philosophers, and parents will soon have to answer. The question is no longer whether we can change ourselves. It's whether we should.